50,000 years ago, a meteor crashed into a vast volcanic plain in what is now India. Prehistoric humans may well have witnessed this event. Today, the area is called Earth, the place where a star once fell to Earth. Every year, thousands of pilgrims arrive at Lonar Lake, known for its sacred qualities and healing waters. The pilgrims enact the ancient ritual of purification in sacred waters. Scientific visitors to the lake are investigating many profound features, such as how the crater was formed.
Right over here, the meteorite struck into the ground, went 2 crater radii deep and vaporized.
Going to research work on ecological value, ecological status of the Lonar Lake.
Conclusively proved that it is a impact crater. You find such things very commonly in many places.
Recently, this interest has intensified with the discovery that this unique geological site on Earth is similar to millions of craters on Mars.
This is something lunar astronauts and Martian astronauts might have to deal with. Although there's hundreds of thousands to millions of craters of different size ranges on the Moon and Mars, there's only 176 as of here January 2010. There's only 176 confirmed impact sites here on Earth. Most of those are completely eroded and degraded, but Lonar Crater is here, and it's wonderful for 2 reasons. It's the target rock basalt, and for the most part, it's well preserved. It's just a tremendous place. Like I said, there's only 20 places on Earth where you can really get great field data of an impact site of this size range. And also the target rock themselves, basalt. Basalt is on the Moon and Mars, and impact craters are on Moon and Mars, and here is a impact crater in basalt that's easy to study rather than going to the Moon or Mars.
Surrounded by a semi-arid plateau, Lonar acts like an oasis. Its forested slopes provide shelter from harsh winds and intense heat. Each monsoon, the basin blooms, nurturing a rich diversity of wildlife. Beneath this tranquil exterior, there are a number of simmering ecological tensions.
The water's very salty. Lonar actually means salt in a dialect of Hindi. The water evaporates, as we know, leaving behind the salt. So it just becomes, it's a closed basin where the salt just accumulates at the bottom.
The main elements in this conflict are salt, the sun, and human activity. The combination of these pressures could lead to a dangerous disruption of Lonar's ecosystem. Deep in the lake, the habitat becomes highly saline and alkaline, inhospitable to most life, but home to extremophiles, creatures who prefer extreme conditions. One species found recently has an intriguing capability. It can detect the Earth's magnetic field and align itself like a compass for navigation. NASA scientists claim that fossilized traces of magnotatic microbes were detected on a meteorite of Martian origin. Did life originate somewhere other than Earth? The robotic Mars landers are currently investigating the planet's dry, dusty surface for hints of its wet, possibly living past. A younger, bluer Mars that had oceans.
Far and away, the #1 question I get about Lonar Crater is about the impactor. It's meaning like it went from a solid to a gas. It just completely vaporized, but there should have been little pieces of the meteorite around. At a Meteor Crater, Arizona and USA, wherever I walk around, I see little pieces of iron meteorite, which was the impactor at Meteor Crater. Dr. Dubin, I think, is it was probably an icy comet. You know, Halley's Comet, for example, is just a big ball of ice that slammed here, and thus, when you can imagine when ice is vaporized and exploding, there's going to be no little pieces of meteorite left 50,000 years later. In field geology, and again, you have to look at, this is the only impact crater in basaltic rocks, and Dr. Dubé's been studying it for 40 years. Thus, when I have a question in the field, I crack open a rock to see what's on the inside, and I don't know what it is, I can ask Dr. Dubé, and he always has the answer, and that just, and it's always the right answer about the texture of rocks and the composition. You know, he's 73 years old, I'm 32, and we get along excellently, coming from two different backgrounds, two different countries, two different languages, you know, but we've really gotten along well, and he's just been a tremendous asset in the field. He's taught me a lot in the last week that you could never, and I want to make this clear, you can never learn in the classroom because this is the only impact crater in basalt. If you want to know about shock basalt, the best location would be Lonar Crater, India, and your best teacher would be Dr. Anand Dubé.
It is the responsibility of everybody to see that the ejecta is preserved properly, you know, and the crater itself is preserved properly, you know, for future generations to work, you know, because there is no such example of in our Earth, you know. So people can, before going to other planets and other places, you know, they can come here and see what has happened here, you know.
And that you'd like to see Lonar Crater be the next World Heritage Site. Just here in India, there are 18 World Heritage Sites. 13 are what we call archaeological, and 5 are called natural, such as waterfalls and canyons. But Lonar is both. It is both archaeological with the several, 15 to 20 temples around the crater in town, and also natural, being the only impact crater on Earth and placed into basalt rock, which is just a tremendous asset for geologists.